a lot of companies have come into Nigeria to tap from that gold mine, and many artists are benefiting from this with vast opportunities. Their music spreading more than it could have. More investment has come in, and there's also been complaints of the streaming revenue quality, touring revenue opportunities across Africa. So how well really is the business of Afrobeats faring? Joining the conversation today, I've got a music executive who has held roles at Africori and founded Wisoko Africa. I hope I'm getting that correctly. It's a creative consulting agency, and her contributions to the music industry have been recognized by Billboard, which included her in its 2023 Women in Music list. She's currently the director of operations at Empire Music. Since joining Empire in 2020 as a product manager, she played a pivotal role in the success of major releases by artists like LAX, Benson, Fireboy DML, Kiss Daniel, Ashake, and Olamide. Please make welcome to the music gig today, Titi Lokpe Adesonya. She's popularly known as Miss Adesonya. You're welcome to the show.
Thank you. How you doing?
Good. How was the drive here?
It was a little bumpy.
It was?
Yeah.
No traffic?
No.
Thank God for public holiday.
There was like go slow, but no traffic.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Great. So quickly, tell us, since your story, I just want to know your story as a music executive, how your journey so far to where you're sitting at, because it's not a lot of times we see women holding positions like this and opportunities to make changes in the music industry.
Yeah. My journey so far, it's been maybe 2016.
Okay.
I can't remember how many years that is. I think 8 or
2016.
Yeah.
2016.
How many years is that?
That's 7 years.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So it's been about 7 years. But I actually started on radio. I don't think I've spoken into a mic
before, right?
I was on radio before.
Okay.
So I don't think I've spoken to a mic in maybe 5-6 years.
Is it the first time you've been a guest on the other side?
Maybe. I don't remember actually ever being
like a radio guest.
Yes, I've been on like what do you call it, like interviews usually for like what do you call it, like written pieces. Okay. And I think I might have done a like video interview, but I've never been a radio guest interview. So this is a little weird for me right now. Or maybe I have been, but I don't remember. Okay. But this is feeling very new.
Yeah, you're doing pretty good.
Thank you.
Doing pretty good. So tell us about Empire Music. A lot of people have observed how Empire came into the game, especially in Africa and West Africa, made a lot of signings, and they've had chart-topping artists sing and singles. Tell us, what's the secret sauce? How are you able to keep repeating that?
I think we put the artist first for the most part. It's a partnership than is anything else. So it means that we're listening to what not just the audience is trying to tell us, but also what the artist is trying to tell us, and while trying to guide them. I think that's it's not this is how we do it where we come from, or this is how other people do it where they come from, and so this is what we're gonna do, is our way or the highway. It's never that. It's a conversation. We're trying to grow together, and we are personally invested in most cases in the artist and in their future and the entire ecosystem, because that's all we know, that's what we love, we're here, so we don't have a choice. We have to make it work.
Okay. Is Empire, especially operations in Nigeria, is most people don't really understand. Is it a label? Is it a distribution company? Is it a publishing company?
Empire is a music group. They've got different arms. We service on different levels with basic distribution deals, label deals. We have a publishing arm. We have a a distribution side of things too, where we're not being necessarily so involved, but there's not many of that. Because one way or the other, if you're putting your music through us, we kind of know and we get invested, and but yeah, that's what the setup is.
Okay, one of the notable partnerships that Empire has had in the afrobeat scenes is the one with YBNL. How did that come about?
Oh, that's shout out to Bolaji, wherever he is. That was actually just right before I joined, so the JV was pretty straightforward at the time. You know, that was a growing label that needed a partner that would give them the legs that they didn't have and the wings that they didn't have in certain places. And there was a partner looking to collaborate with a visionary kind of brand like YBNO. It was a perfect match, I think. It has been.
Okay. We've seen the success. The chart says it all. The successes of all the artists that have come through YBNL and the Empire partnership is a testament to what you guys have been able to bring to the table. Now, let's now look at the music itself, right? A lot of people are saying that most of these artists, when they have these partnerships with the big labels like yours, and they've done their first album, it's usually authentic, it's usually more grounded to their roots, but subsequently we start to hear them maybe tinker with different sounds or pander to other audiences, and the home crowd is a bit like, what's really going on? They're changing their sound, in some cases changing their look and all of that, and people feel that maybe the record label has something to do with that, or maybe pressure from the team, the camp, is what's responsible. Is it marketing strategy? Is it what exactly is going on?
I cannot answer that for anybody else.
Yeah.
But as far as I am concerned, they're human beings. They're going to grow. They're going to change. They're going to want to try things, and they need to be allowed to do that. You know, if I've only known how to make eggs, I didn't even know it was called an omelette before. That's what I thought eggs were, where you put onions and everything inside of it. That's how I made eggs.
Yes.
And then I started to travel, and then I saw that they were poached eggs. At first I was like, what is poached eggs? I'm never gonna eat that. You boil the egg, but it's not really boiled. But you open it and then you boil it,
and it's still gooey a bit.
And then now I will go someplace and I will order poached eggs. You know, I'm understanding the difference in Spanish omelettes and the full veggie omelette or this or that, and that's not something I would have done before. And maybe I am better for it now, because now I can eat all different kinds of eggs and I don't have to, only eat boiled or this egg and that's it, or egg with Indomie. But now I'm richer for it. I went through a phase where maybe I was only eating this kind of egg, and then I shifted, and now I eat everything. So I think that artists should be allowed to try things.
Try stuff.
Yes, it's not a conversation about whether anybody's putting pressure on them or whether they feel like they need to be allowed to try that, all the while having a team that kind of tries their best to keep them grounded. But these are the creative people we're talking about. So it's always so interesting to me when people think that a creative person is going to make the same thing from the beginning to the end, like from the way that you've known them is the only way. Like, then they're never gonna grow, and they're creative. They need to be able to do that. So I think more than anything else, I don't think anybody's forcing it on them. I think it's a natural progression. If you check most people, they would go somewhere, and then where they might end up in another 5 years is a combination of all the different sounds that they've tried. So yeah.
I think that pretty much answers some portion of it, and a lot of people do believe that maybe the Nigerian audience are a bit difficult. They just want better. They don't want. They might follow you along your journey, but they really want the outcome to be better than the last.
I mean, who is to decide what is better?
Yeah.
Right, the listener is the listener. They like what they like. In that same pool of people that you think wants something that they might categorize as better, there's a portion of those people who want something else entirely. So I don't think that there's any one way to kind of put all of this in a box, that the listener wants you to keep making the same kind of music that you made when you were 21 and you had different experiences and you just saw the world differently, and now you're 26. That's 4 years. They can't expect you to, where does that 4 years of experience go? 4 years of things that you've done differently. It has to be expressed in your music, in your art. And if you're not able to do that, then you're being stagnant. So I don't know that we can categorize it by saying the listener wants better. The listener wants what they might be used to. Sometimes they also want better, but like, who is to categorize better? You know, better for the artist might be, okay, I'm no longer going to try to play 5 different instruments now. I want to strip it down because that's where my soul is right now. I'm in a very quiet, peaceful mode. That's kind of music I want to make now. But I mean, I'm sure that there are many A&Rs that may not agree with that, but I also know that there's a lot of them that also agree with that you must allow the artist to try things. So I don't know who says what is better in the terms of what the artist should be making. I mean, if the mix is better, then that's great.
And they also say the numbers don't lie. So if people appreciate whatever you're doing and they're listening to it and it's good business for the label, then I'm sure that might be termed as better.
Well, I mean, some might say that there's arguments about numbers and things, but
no, okay. Yeah. All right. So speaking about the business of doing the Afrobeats business now as a record label, what would you say are some of the challenges facing the music business in Nigeria, particularly, and how does it affect the outcome for the artist and the label?
Structured investments, so to speak. When I mean structured investments, I mean, I know it's the quickest thing to go to when we say there are no event centers. I went to SDC's thing yesterday show, and I kept thinking that if I lived in the hotel that was opposite this place, I would call the cops on them. Yeah, because that's too much music for a residential place. But what are our choices? We have to express ourselves. We have to do these things. You know, why when people talk about it all the time, about just the need to be able to have world standards, some would say,
event centers.
It sounds very simple, but it's not. I went to my favorite band ever. I went to their concert maybe earlier in the year in Cape Town, and the entire experience of getting from my car to my seat maybe took me less than 15 minutes. What
band was that?
Cigarettes After Sex.
Okay. Never heard of them.
They're really cool. And the entire experience was so, I was prepared, you know, like when you're going for shows, and I'm not saying that this is the case everywhere, because there's certain festivals where you will stand in line forever, you know, but that entire, like, everything, just there was sensibility to the whole thing. And there was no need for me to have to there was parking. I think that's the thing that, you know, there was parking. There was actual space for me to park my car. Really? And not like there was parking. Let's just say that.
Okay, there was parking.
There was parking.
But is that the kind of thing you would expect for a maybe 50,000 capacity venue, and tons of people are going to come? Do you think those amenities would be at that scale?
At that scale, maybe not, but then maybe you have a structure. Again, comes to our infrastructure, where there are the public transport system works, right? When you have huge, I think maybe when we went for Ashake's show in London, I don't think I know anybody that drove there. Everybody took a train or took a bus.
Makes life easier.
You know, but we're not there yet. So I think that the things that affect the business for people on the ground is all the additional stuff. Like, how easy is it to get, like, the next the next recording studio you walk into has this level of equipment, and you don't have to assume that you have to pay top dollar just to be able to, you know, I met an artist once who has said he used a microphone in X states and he can never go back now. So now even all the recording that he does here is almost like it's demos. He now travels to go re-record his vocals. That's like double the work for him. That's double but he's heard the difference in the quality, and he never wants to go back to what that was, you know. But then obviously that affects his budgets, that affects everything else. So yeah.
Interesting. And let me just, because you're an insider, and you know, luckily your label does publishing as well. Yeah. So tell us, a lot of people are selling their catalogs to, you know, to labels and all of that, and people may not understand what it is about catalogs and why they're so valuable. Can you touch on it a bit? Music catalogs for artists.
Okay, so I don't know if I'm the perfect person to talk on catalogs.
Okay.
But I think logically, we know that music is timeless.
Okay.
And the work that goes into creating a piece of music, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 30 minutes, or 70 minutes LP, or whatever the case is, the work that goes into that becomes currency, because it's not, it didn't just happen. People's time and valuable resources went into that. That makes it in itself currency.
Okay.
So if I know that, as with fashion, everything kind of comes in circles, what I want to do is gather as much as I can and just wait on it. That's an investment game, you
it's
know,
like real estate.
Yes, and then get as much as you can, because what is going to be worth in X amount of years, you know. And it also depends, you know, some people follow and they watch trends. They kind of gauge to see that if people are investing in this much, and these people are making a different kind of sound, that if we continuously uphold that particular ecosystem and make it such that they're beneficial, sorry, they're making money, or they're financially viable, what then happens is the entire ecosystem that surrounds that music, or that person, or that kind of music, blooms to such that people are playing it for they want to put it in their movies, right? They want to put in their movies. That means that you don't know how long that movie is going to, like, we're still watching The Office 20 years after. Even Friends, you know, 20 something years after. And who is to say that the Disney cartoon series that are created now using music, that the things that Ebony Life are putting together and using, you know, Nigerian music, isn't going to continuously play, because we're going to want to pass on our cultural experiences to our children, or our children's children, or whatever the case is. And so somebody is watching that, what's that new one on Netflix, Love Lies or something like that, another 20 years from now, and Ira Star's music is playing on it, or Ashake's music is playing on it, or somebody uses Jealous for an ad that becomes such a staple in the children's ear now, like we used to sing Cowbell, Our Milko, so I don't know to do that, but like we used to sing all those staple ads. Somebody now, the only way that they know Jealous is through that, but people are paying for using that continuously, which means you continue to make money. So it's an investment thing, but it's also a way of, as you're putting money into the system, it means that the system is going to be able to make money back too. So it's I think it works for them.
Okay, all right. I think for those who are confused about it, maybe that gives a bit of clarity. It's the music assets that artists have developed over time, and you know, people pay for them, so they have the rights to exploit them multiple ways, and the artists can get paid upfront off of all of that, or they can hold on to their to their music catalog and find a way to, you know,
or sometimes they license it where someone else has a license to exploit it, and then you still get a percentage, so you don't have to do the work of sourcing ways to make that catalog continuously make money for you, but you still get to reap the benefits. Like, people have different ways around it.
Okay, let's talk about women in the music industry.
My funnest, most fun topic.
Yes, we're seeing a lot. I've watched the music industry, especially in Nigeria, progress to this point. It used to be run entirely by men, especially in the executive roles, and even in the artist roles, we didn't see a lot of female superstars to match the number of men. I don't think the numbers are even now, but I think there's been a lot of progress. But what do you think about women getting enough opportunities in the music business, especially getting signed and getting supported by big labels?
So we're talking about female artists now.
Yes, female artists. Do you think the tides have changed
I
in
think
their
the
favor?
tides are
or
changing,
okay,
but like with, again, most things, there's something that is creative. You can't pin it down as to, like, right before Asha, we had never seen anybody like her, ever. Nobody would have guessed that that's what you needed to do. Obviously somebody guessed, which is why she existed. What I mean is, as all the arguments that were being made around, women in the music space at that time, nobody was saying, oh, somebody should go do exactly this to come for you to be able to break through the noise. So I really think it's different in many cases. Ira is in an amazing time, like in an entire generation, and I think that what stands out the most, and probably has, again, this is a personal opinion, but what I think is, she literally reminds us of who we thought we were when we were listening to Avril Lavigne growing up. She reminds us of us standing in front of the mirror trying to act, oh my gosh, I have all my Beyonce fans behind me, or I'm, what's the name of those three girls? Destiny Child. Child. And she reminds us of that. And it means that everybody who has come up with her now, who are the ones with the buying power, they see that and they gravitate towards that. So I really think that it's a lot to do with also the people coming out and being able to be relatable to a certain audience. And then there are women in the space that are doing niche types of music, and they have their fan base. Everybody doesn't have to be a certain type of way. Yes. And I think that sometimes that might be the issue, not issue, but that might be the mistakes that people make, both from the artist's point of view and behind the scenes, where it's like, okay, this is what's working now, this is what we think should work. And then in development, women are not necessarily allowed to kind of forge their kind of way. And this is not a Nigeria problem. It's not started now. It's always been that what we see women as, or what we have in our heads of what can sell them when we package them, is a certain kind of way. And if it doesn't fit that to the people with the most money, which at the time, from a longer time ago, was the guys, and if it doesn't work in a way that it entices the guys, then maybe you're not going to make money. And so everybody kind of wants to push you to do, oh, it's red lipstick that's raining now, so everybody can kind of look like that. And the more we get women who are saying, no, this is how I want to do it, I want to do it different, not because that doesn't work, but it doesn't work for me, that's not the style of music I want to make. And we're a little, oh my gosh, nobody really likes change, so we're like, whoa, wait. So I think it takes us a little bit of time. By us, I mean the society, not the me, but it takes us a little bit of time to kind of get used to it. And then we're like, oh my gosh, yes, I like that. When Don Lee came out, I'm sure not everybody was like, oh yeah, Don Lee, but now everybody's like, okay, yeah, we kind of see, and she's been consistent and she's tried to hone her fan base. So I mean, Yemi has done what Yemi has done for forever, and she's built and maintained that fan base with her. So everybody doesn't play on the same level, and they're not supposed to. They're all talking to different people in different voices, telling different stories, and they should be allowed to. But also the issues that face our community obviously spill into the music industry. So as an entire people, if women are not seen as anything other than support system, they can't be seen in the music business as the ones that are leading it. As much as that you only have the one woman here, and that's why it's such a big deal when somebody breaks out, because they only dots and far and few in between, and that is a direct reflection of the actual society. So it's not a problem that just happens only in the music business. It's a problem of a society, of a people, of a generation, of different races, that the woman doesn't have as much regard in many spaces business wise as the man does. As you said, it's not like it's not happening, it's just not even enough yet. So
Okay, and I hope that people who are working in this space can try to maybe disabuse their mindset and maybe support more women, and maybe women also should feel free to break the mold.
You can't feel free. Somebody's holding your hands. But yes,
they could just break the mold a little bit more, and we definitely need to support them. Okay, so we've been having a very wonderful conversation with Titi Lokwe at Desonya. I don't know. I don't like calling your full name that
Titi
way.
Lokwe Adesonya.
Yes, it's
I really like my
just
name.
say Miss Adesonya.
Most people do, and that's also
Titi.
my name.
Yes,
Miss Adesonya, Titi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I prefer Titi because Miss can change anytime.
Well, I feel like
That title could
name
change.
in
Yeah.
itself
Yeah.
will probably be what it is.
Okay.
Yeah, because Mrs. Adesanya doesn't sound like my mom. That's my mom.
It doesn't have the same ring to it.
Yeah, like just Miss Adesanya is like, okay, cool. Always says to see it, cool, so it's fine.
Yeah, great stuff. Quickly before I let you go, Empire had a collaborative project that they put out some time with Kiss Daniel and a couple other artists. Are we going to be seeing stuff like that in the near future? And what other plans can we expect from Empire?
That sounds like I don't
The scoop part of the interview.
That's like no. You'll be there, just stay alive, be kind to each other, so that when all of the stuff that we're planning is happening, you can be able to experience it live and say to your children that, oh my gosh, I was there when Empire did that.
No scoop,
bro.
Not even a little bit.
No, go buy ice cream.
Okay, great stuff. We've been talking to Miss Adesonya. Thank you so much for being part of the conversation. We are hoping that Afrobeat continue to expand and people continue to do great things with the music, and it doesn't, will I say, burnout, because people predicted that, as with dance hall, there was a time the world was crazy about dance hall, the world became crazy about reggaeton, and now it seems the world is crazy about Afrobeat. So some people are saying it has an expiry date. But
I think that can only happen if we don't evolve, and I don't think that that's possible, because if you listen to, I hear what people are saying about reggae and dancehall, but if you listen to Afrobeats now, I feel like it has elements of that. So dancehall didn't die; it just kind of changed.
But it's not in the front burner as it used to be.
Well, because a different
music,
version of it is, in my opinion, a different version of it. If you Molly's song now that everybody's running around doing, what's the even before she put the other artist on it, if you listen to the ingredients of that, it has it. I feel, again, this many people may not agree, but I don't think it's that it died.
No, it didn't die.
It didn't die. You guys just, it wasn't what you wanted to hear anymore, and that's okay. But people may not be realizing is we're still listening to it in all the main things. It's just in a different version.
It's in there in Ruger's work too.
It's in there. It's in there in almost everybody's work. Somebody will do a body of work, and in there somewhere they have that rhythm to it. It's there. So if anything, what happened was everybody came and discovered something new, and then took bits and pieces of it to live on with them forever. Like, I'm not gonna stay in one place the whole time and listen to the same thing the whole time, but it doesn't mean that I haven't taken that and used it. But again, I 100% understand what people are saying, but I want to have faith that we will evolve when it's time to evolve.
Okay, good luck with that, dear Afrobeat. We're rooting for you, we love you, and as long as you keep staying connected to the motherland, I'm sure that Afrobeat will last for ever and ever and ever. Thank you so much for being part of the show, and I have to just call it a wrap right now. Music Gig comes your way next week Friday, so make sure you stick around. The rundown continues with Bimbo, so stick around for that. We're leaving you with this particular song from Odumodu Black off his mixtape. It's called Legolas. Very interesting sound, if you ask me. My name is Rex. See you next time.